Wow, okay. Y'all scared me. I'm about to run back. I love it. I love a nice riled up crowd in here today because we got a good show for you today. All right, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. We cover the issue of racism a lot here at Queen Latifah, and we met a lot of racists along the way. Some of the most conflicted people I've met in the process of doing these shows are people who've abandoned their own race. Our first guest is Renee. Welcome, Renee, to the show, you guys. Yeah. Now, Renee is here to confront her friend Melinda, who has some real harsh feelings about black people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your friend actually denies part of her heritage, doesn't she, Renee?
Yeah, she tells everybody that she's white and Indian. But when you look at her and you see her, you know she's black.
Uh-huh.
She thinks black people are lazy and that they all sell drugs and they stand on the street corners and that they rape and all this because of things that's happened to her. But not all people are like that. Not all black people are. She just hangs out with the wrong ones is what's happened. She's got around the wrong people.
And she has kids too, right?
Yeah. But they're all with white men.
Okay. All right. Well, let's meet Melinda and see what's going on with her. Melinda, come on out. Welcome, Melinda, to the show. Hey, Melinda.
Hello.
Part Indian?
Yes.
Are you part black too?
Yeah, but
Well,
I don't like to say so. If someone asks me what my heritage is, I will tell them that I'm Indian.
Why do you not like to say so?
I'm embarrassed to be as dark as I am.
You have never had a good experience with a black person in your life?
Never.
Wow.
Now, see, the people I hang out with nothing but blacks and Mexicans, and the people I hang out with ain't none of them like the way she talks about being black people. The people I hang out with are good people.
Did you always feel like this about black people?
No. That most of them that I've known, like the women, will get on federal aid and support men who are out selling dope instead of being out working. They don't have any morals. They don't believe in themselves. They're uneducated and complain about it, but they don't put forth the effort to go out and do something about it.
Wow. Do you know when you look in the mirror that you are black as well? I mean, I know your mom is white.
Right.
But you know that makes half of you black.
I try not to think about it.
And did you ever try to look into any of your history or try to meet any people who are black just to maybe find out a little more about the race itself before you kind of just shucked it off? And
yeah, I mean, I made a point to my mother as I got older that, you know, she raised me in an all-white town. I mean, that's just how it was. And I told her, you know, I said, I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody who's black. I'd like to get to know that side of me. And she moved us to a town where there were black people. And from about the time that I was 13 to this date, every experience that I've had with either a black male or a black female has been bad.
do you think part of it has to do with maybe the fact that you just weren't brought up around too many black people and did you feel out of place or something?
It started out being that.
N-word a lot or something growing up or something? I mean, why?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did.
So you felt like you stood out?
Oh, I always stood out.
People made you feel uncomfortable about how you looked growing up?
I used to have to take my own set of paper towels to school to wipe things off the walls.
And you don't let your kids play with other black kids?
No.
Why is that?
I just don't want my kids to, you know, go home with one of these kids and, you know, be sitting playing Nintendo or something and their parents sitting on the couch smoking weed.
How old are your kids?
I've got 3. I've got one that's 9 months, a 2-year-old little girl, and I have a 3-year-old little boy.
So 9 months, 2 and 3, but they're going to go home and hang out over somebody's house who's smoking weed. Doesn't that seem... So are you saying that white people don't smoke weed?
No.
There we go. I was going to say. No, white people just do the harsh stuff. You have it in every race, though. You have those bad apples. You know, there's bad apples in every bunch. There's always a bad apple. And you just hang around with a bunch of bad apples. That's all it is.
What are you going to tell your kids? Are you not going to make them aware of their heritage?
I don't want my kids to feel the way that I do. And maybe they'll be lucky enough they won't have bad experiences with black people.
Do you really realize that all black people are not bad? Any peoples are not bad. They're good and bad in every race. Do you realize that?
Well, yeah, I realize that, but I've stopped giving them a chance to prove that to me. After so many times, you know, it's just...
You went through some pretty major incidents.
Yes. Yes.
You have been through a rape.
3.
More than one.
2 gang rapes and then another one, yes.
I'm like, I don't want to, make you uncomfortable. I'm just wondering how one gets into a situation like that twice. And then another incident.
By hanging around with the wrong crowd.
Actually, no, my sister. Hanging around with my sister. She's biracial too, and she feels the opposite way that I do. She wants nothing to do with white people, and it was go run around the streets and sell dope with guys, and I felt like me being the older sister, it was my job to go and protect her, and it seemed like every time I went and I got around those people, these things happened to me.
Okay. That's a little strange for me, but and nobody deserves to be raped. But that's really a degenerate behavior, and it happens across all races, unfortunately. And I hope you don't think by just not being around black people that that's something that is just going to disappear.
Well, I haven't had another race do me that way.
We're going to talk about it a little more, but I know you wonder what Melinda's mom thinks about all this. Well, let's welcome Vanessa to the show and find out. Vanessa, how you doing?
Okay.
Now, does it break your heart that your daughter has basically abandoned part of her heritage?
No, I feel like she has a right to.
You feel like she has a right to?
Yeah.
What makes you feel like that?
I'm the reason that she is biracial. And I brought them back to our old southern hometown and moved to where there were no black people, so that, because all I was around was black people whenever these things were happening. And I thought if I kept them away from people that were doing those things, then they would be better.
I've been here for 3 hours. I saw discrimination on black people. A comment made where we were just having lunch, and we were treated differently because we were white. You know what? It was wrong. Mm-hmm. And I feel for you. I understand what you're going through. But you know what? It's not right. It's here. Black people do discriminate against whites. Whites do discriminate against blacks. We all have to learn to work together. And you know what? Keeping an attitude and saying things are wrong, got to make a change somewhere. Where do you start?
Where do you start? Where does it start? You say that black men got your daughter addicted to drugs.
Right.
How does a black man get your daughter addicted to drugs?
By them going to where they're at and being with them themselves.
What'd you say? By them? Your daughter's going to where they are?
Yeah.
Your daughter has to take responsibility for her own actions.
That's
You don't blame. You don't blame. And furthermore, you might not have, see, this is where the racism gets all messed up, because people use your own racial ideas against you. Are you trying to say that no white people do drugs? Are you trying to say that your daughter would never have been exposed to this kind of stuff?
No,
and are you
not
trying to
at
say
all.
that your daughters can't make decisions on their own?
They can. And
They
when
have
they
a
got
choice.
old enough that they made the decision.
They
They
have a
wanted
choice.
to be around. They wanted to know about their black heritage.
Let me
And
tell
I
you
get
something,
that.
because don't insult me right now. My black heritage is not being a crackhead. It's not being a crack dealer. So don't insult me right now. You need to you need to remove that. See, your daughter's learning about their heritage. Don't tell me them going to see a drug dealer on the corner is learning their heritage.
That's not why I
their
moved
heritage.
them to a different town. I moved them to a different town.
Did you ever ever buy them some books? Did you ever show them that they have a good legacy as well? Did you show them that? You have?
Yeah.
Because it sounds like all they see and all they think about is just the negative aspects of their race. And
I don't think I did make her feel like there was
if you
something wrong with her.
if you tell her half of you is wrong, Half of you
I've
is
never
bad.
told her half of it was wrong.
If you pick her up and move her away from half of her because you think if you're just around this half of you, you'll be okay, that sends a message, Mom. It still sends a message.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't intend to do that, but it still sends a message. We got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to meet a black man who admits to abandoning the black race and says that white people are smarter and he can learn more from them. Wait till you hear what his mom has to say. Don't go away. Your son, he has no black friends?
No. Only person I've seen him hang out with blacks is his brothers and his sister, his cousins. No black friends at all.
Well, dear, come on out. Let's hear what he's out.
Rock and roll, baby!
Now, Diane says that her son refuses to date or hang out with black people. She says she has nothing against white. She just doesn't understand why he's abandoned his own race. Your son, he has no black friends?
No. Only person I've seen him hang out with blacks is his brothers and his sister, his cousins. No black friends at all. I even tried to hook him up with a couple of girls. Mm-hmm. He's not interested.
Now, you said he won't ride the school bus? He doesn't ride the school bus?
Oh, honey, he had like about 2 or 3 different white girls picking him up every morning to carry him to school.
Oh, so he's rolling. He
doesn't
need the school bus.
Oh, he don't need the school bus. He's highballing. And let me tell you, you know, like he's a nice-looking black man. You know, they call him cowboy. A black kid is called cowboy.
You know, there are a few cowboys out there.
Yeah, but Quadir is not one of them. His name is Quadir.
Yeah, they work over to Chippendale.
Okay. Those the ones. Yeah. Anyway.
See you later, cowboy. No, but you also have some issues with the music he likes.
Girl, you know, I'm Marvin Gaye. You know, the Whispers. I come home from a hard day's work. I want to put on the bit 97.1. This boy got heavy metal, but you can hear it when you drive up.
Oh, man.
Come on, Quadir. This is not my... Look, do it look like I'm white to you? The palm of my hand.
I like heavy metal.
That's good, then. You turn it on when you come home from work. Not me. I'm giving me a little Marvin.
Right after I get
and
off
then
here.
He's in a band. He's the only black... Oh.
He's in a metal band.
Oh, yes. Lord,
what does he play?
He's the singer. He sings. He sings.
Do they practice at your house?
Not on this earth.
Mom won't have that. Not having that. What happens when he calls you at work?
This lady, one of the nurses, she came to me one day. She said, she didn't tell me out loud. Diane, there's a white man on the phone. So I go, oh, hell, I don't discriminate. So I go to the phone, my little sexy voice. I go, hello. I hear something go, hey, Ma. I said, this ain't no man, this my son. They said, well, he sounds like a little white boy to me. I said, well, he's not. He's my black son, okay? Give him a break. He even told my son when they got in an argument, he told my son to kiss his white butt. We looked, I said, I don't remember that butt being white, child, but if you want to be white, let me know. No. He's okay. He's real intelligent. He's very smart. But everybody he hangs out with is white.
All right, let's meet your son, Quadir. By the way, he wanted to walk on to his own selection of music. So, Quadir, come on out. Let's hear what he's out.
Rock and roll, baby!
What's up, Big Teeth?
What's that deal? Kind of look like you two. So, okay, Quadir, you don't have any black friends or anything like that, right?
No, I do not.
You're not avoiding black people,
Well,
though,
when I went to high school, I went to my high school, I would try to talk to black kids in high school, but when I started talking, they kind of look at me like, what's wrong with this kid? You know, they call me things like nerds, sellout. And now I'm trying to talk to my peoples on more than 10 different occasions. But I got abandoned first, you know, and it kind of broke my spirit. And I would go talk to white people who would accept me just like that. And I'm hanging out with black people. I had one person say, look at this black guy walking with all these white people. He looks like a big black dot. You know, how is that supposed to be? He's supposed to be my black brother, sister. Then why are you talking junk to me like this?
Because he's ignorant.
Right. Exactly. Very ignorant. They cannot, you know, people like that will never be able to hold an intelligent conversation with me, will never be on the same level as me.
Okay, but that's not all black people, though.
But most black people I've encountered.
You feel you can't have an intellectual conversation with a black kid?
I'll try to talk about politics, capitalism, whatever, things like that with like black people. They just kind of look at me like, who cares? You know, I don't want to talk about that. And I'll go talk to a white person about it. They'll have a discussion about what 2 or 3 hours about.
So you're saying that there were no people in your school that were no black people in your school that were intelligent other than you?
No. I mean, no, I'm not saying that no black people that were intelligent. They wouldn't carry on a conversation with me. I don't know if it was the fact of the matter I was hanging around with white people, or they didn't like me, or they just couldn't.
And
I just felt that they wasn't intelligent.
Were you the only black kid in school hanging out with white people?
Like that, yeah.
The only one.
I've always been around the white race.
Half African American or whatever. Right. They can know that. And when they get old enough that I don't have to worry about protecting them, then they can make their own decisions.
That's right.
Just like she was your first teacher, you are their first teacher. If you deny who you are, if you pretend to be someone you're not, you know, if you act like you're afraid of black people.
I am afraid of them.
No, you're not.
Then what do you think you're going to teach your kids?
You ain't afraid of black people.
What do you think you're going to teach your kids?
What
do you mean they're going to be able to choose on their own?
Yeah.
You're going to put,
you ain't
just like
afraid
your
of
mom, put it in your mom.
Excuse me, you can't be afraid of black people and you stood out there and you helped my black grandbaby.
That's right.
If that's the case, you would have been scared of his mother or me, for instance, if I knew you felt like that.
You're not a grown black man either.
Look, I'm more dangerous than a grown black man. You say you are afraid of black people. No, see, you got to stop and think about what you're saying. Because if that's the case, let's go back. Let's turn back the hands of time. Because I went through some racial stuff. I grew up in the South. Okay? I have been shot at. And you know what they did to those white boys? They gave them a pat on the back. Okay? So that's the case. I would be afraid of white people. But I'm not, because when I walk in a room with white people, I think I'm the gorgeous black thing ever walked in there.
Let me ask you real quick. Did you ever go to counseling or anything behind those rapes that you went through?
No.
Why?
There it is. We went to counseling.
No, I went to counseling over the drugs.
But it was all involved together. Because it happened during drugs.
You guys had been doing drugs when this happened?
I hadn't been. I had been drinking.
But it was all...
But you never went through any counseling?
No. Not for that.
And you're not afraid of all men, just black men?
That's the only ones that have ever done anything to me.
You needed to be in some counseling behind that, straight up. You needed to deal with that situation because it's manifesting itself in a horrible way. There's a black man sitting right there. He doesn't look like he wants to rape you or do any harm to you. No, I'm not saying that. He doesn't look like he wants to bring any harm to you.
He also thinks he's white, too.
But you know what, though?
He's a black man. He's a black man. Wait a minute. He's a black man that hangs out with white people and likes metal.
I just hang out with a lot of
He don't think he's white.
That's what it is.
He knows that he's 110% black. He just like hanging out
105.
with... Okay, 105. He just like
You just went
hanging
down
out.
to 103 on that.
You know, he just like hanging out with the Caucasian. He know up in his house who is the queen and king.
You had a comment for Poppy? Tommy?
Yes. Tomas.
Yes, ma'am.
Being Puerto Rican myself and Boricua to a T, because I was born in Puerto Rico and raised here in the United States. And I appreciate the fact that you celebrate my culture.
I call whites honkies at work. Latinos. So you're discriminating against your own race. You're discriminating against yourself.
But I can't,
You're
because it's
white.
my race.
How can you call somebody a honky?
Because it's my race and I can do that.
No, because nobody knows it's your race because you're pretending to be another race, which makes you a racist.
I know that.
Because you're pretending to be a Puerto Rican.
Right.
That's right.
Pretending
But
to
the
be a
same people I'm
racist.
talking about talk about.
You know what I'm saying?
But the same
It's
people.
weird.
But the same people
It's
I'm
weird.
talking about. But the same people I'm talking about are talking about the minority people all the time. That's what I'm talking about.
Two wrongs don't make a right. It doesn't make it any.
I agree, but it's a shame that in this day and age, it's got to get to that.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. If anything, it's got to get away from that because we've done that through history and we see it does not work for everyone.
I agree.
It just doesn't. You know, that's what's tearing us all apart. Hip hop will bring us back together. Anyway, our next guest is Alicia. She's the one who says she only wants light-skinned people in her bridal party. Why, Alicia? What's up with that?
Because I'm going by the colors and stuff that I pick. You know, I pick like it's like a light gold, and it's like I have real dark friends, and I don't like to see like dark people in light colors. It just don't look right to me.
Now, come on now. First of all, you gotta, let's keep it real. That's the only way you're ever gonna get to the root of these issues is to keep it real. Be honest with yourself, first of all. You have some strong things to say. You said your birthday is in June and your party is always at night so you don't get darker. You use skin bleach?
Yes.
Why?
Because I don't want to get any darker than what I am. I don't like going in the sun or nothing. If I get darker than what I am now, I bleach my skin.
You have an issue with dark skin then?
Yes.
So it's not just about the color you picked out for your wedding dresses or me not liking dark skin in certain colors. It's about you have a problem with dark skin.
Yes.
Period. Which means you have a problem with anybody who has dark skin.
Yes.
This was absolutely disturbing to me. You said that dark children act differently than light. They misbehave and always look a mess.
Yes.
Now, you have kids.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
You saying your darker kids are always a mess and act unruly? And
No.
your lighter kids? Because those boys are not as light as you. They're brown-skinned boys. So are you saying that, and they look pretty neat, like you're keeping them well in that picture, are you saying that they tend to be more wild and act up and messy?
Yes.
Your own kids?
Not my own kids, but
why not your kids?
Just like,
if other people's little brown babies do that, why not yours?
I mean, you know, because I raised them to act right.
Oh,
you know.
You what?
I raised them to act
You
right.
raised them to act right. Yeah. So, go on, Mama, jump in. Mama, jump on, and I'll see you.
I'm going to have to correct her, because her kids are not the best behaved kids downstairs running all over the floor. And my kids, God bless them, they all grown, and he's my baby. We go out in public, my little black, little chocolate kids, you did not see them rolling on the floor and acting crazy. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I'm older than you, and I know a little bit more than you. I have seen in the supermarket who kids run around and be hitting white children. Not all. I'm not going to say all of them. Not all of them. But the majority of the kids be in the supermarket, in the store, they be, look, I could look at mine.
Yeah.
Hey, honey, you definitely, somebody told you something wrong. When they was calling you white girl in school, they was just playing with you. Because you just high yellow, because I have a son your complexion. Okay? You just high yellow. You ain't nowhere near white. And then don't, like I said, don't ever forget where you came from, because you're going to lose your perspective of where you're going. And right now where you're going down a dead-end road.
Wow. It's hardcore. We're going to take a break and be right back. Welcome back. Please welcome our friend and therapist, Donna LeBlanc, to the show, you guys. Okay, Donna. Now, honestly, what I see... You sure you're not from New York? What's going on with each group of these people, please?
Well, first I want to start with Renee and Melinda and Vanessa. Basically what happens is that part of us, Queen, is very animal-like or survival-oriented, and what we do is we add on experiences as they happen so that we start protecting ourselves for survival against certain types. And so our whole system starts scanning the environment for certain types. What I would recommend is that you join, believe it or not, like a black gospel church or something, so that you can be around your culture. Go to Africa. Find the beauty in your culture, especially if there are children involved, because if you don't find the beauty in your culture, you'll pass on self-hatred. And that turns into all kinds of things, from
lots and lots of surgeries, getting mutilations, to, you know, just...
To making you Puerto Rican.
Yeah!
Puerto Rican.
It goes way beyond all this. It's what I feel.
I tried to make a point earlier that I don't want my kids to be like I am. I don't want them to feel that way.
Well, but you can't say that. Your mom didn't want you to be like her.
Our children are in counseling at 2 and 3.
Yeah.
They are in counseling.
But stop. Mom, you need counseling. Daughter, you need counseling. You're the ones that need it, and the sister. Yeah, both of you together.
Like the whole family, you guys need to go back and dig it all out.
Yeah.
And dig the wounds out and clear them off and scrape them off and clean them and then let them heal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're a beautiful black woman, and that's what people will see until you open your mouth and they hear you say, "Well, I'm not black," or till they hear you say something negative about what they obviously see. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and Queenie,
and
one mentor she could have is Diane.
Okay? Yeah! For real! Super black woman.
There's a gift that we get on this earth, and that is that if we don't get what we need from our mom and dad, a lot of times it is available to us in surrogates. We can find somebody to mentor us. Yeah, and the next comment I wanted to make was to you between Diane and Gwadir, and that is that your son is quite a character just like you are, okay? And you have been raised with a white culture, so you're probably just more comfortable. He's trying to individuate, so the more you try to pressure him, the more he's going to keep going the direction he's going. So I would just let him alone, basically. Because I think you have a good connection with him.
She don't try to hound me or anything. She don't try to take my friends away from me or anything.
Yeah, and I think you're a great mom, so keep it up.
I try to be. Thank you.
And Sophie and Thomas. Thomas, Mom, Sophie, I would suggest the same to you about not pressuring him, because the more you pressure him, the more he's got to find his individuality, and the more that makes him try to go the other way and fight you. And Thomas, what I would say to you is, I think what you're missing is that your mom and your culture is connected to a deep lineage of pain and heritage, that it's a courage. They've been through a lot, being from the concentration camps and all of that. And what you're doing when you're saying all this is that you're invalidating your mom. That's how she's taking it.
No, I'm not.
So, but just listen. That's how she takes it. So if you can just be sensitive to that and pass on both the culture or the group you hang with and your true culture, it would be very helpful.
I know about all that. I know about all that.
But be aware you're not saying it.
I'm aware of it, but I'm not going to live and breathe it every day because I know about it.
Okay. So Alicia, I got to move on. Alicia, the same. You have children. You're trying to whitewash. You're not finding the beauty in your culture. There is a magnificent beauty in your culture. Find that so you can pass it on to your children.
You going to comment real quick? Real quick.
Yeah, I have a question for Thomas. Just because you think you waved around that Puerto Rican flag makes you Puerto Rican?
It don't. It's in my heart. So white boy, sit down.
White boy, I'm Puerto Rican. Soy puertorriqueño también, ¿saben?
Sí, That's a good point. You're right. And I said it just before you said that. It doesn't matter about the flag or all this.
Háblame en español, entonces nos entendemos.
I said it has nothing to do with this.
Speaking that well. I don't think he speaks it that well.
If you were listening, I said it before, it has nothing to do with all this, because anybody can go to school and learn Spanish. I'm as light as you.
Where were you born?
Huh?
Where were you born?
In Chicago, in Illinois. I mean,
You're Polish.
I'm white, huh? How am I?
You're Polish.
Polish,
Right.
French, Canadian,
Right.
Why
and
don't you
Indian.
enjoy that culture instead of taking some other people's?
I'm not taking
no
one.
It's not bad
But if
to
you were
enjoy
proud of
other
what you were
cultures.
too, you'd be like, be yourself,
Just
enjoy it.
your own culture. You have very big
I know
background.
my culture. It's boring. There's more flavor in the Puerto Rican culture.
Well, I know
Wait a
that.
minute,
I enjoy it all the time.
Well, that's great, but you know what I mean? It's boring. You got 4 different cultures. You got Polish, French, Canadian. You got Indian, American.
And I know about that.
French Indian, I suppose, or like American, Native American.
It's American Indian.
So that's that. Native American. There's nothing boring about it. No way it could ever be. Please. Don't you feel a little stupid for calling him a white boy?
No, I don't.
That's what you get for throwing him out.
You know what?
That's
Go the
what you
same way.
get.
People judge me
No.
automatically Puerto Rican.
No. I'm going to tell you how you look. I'm going to tell you how you look. You look crazy. We want to thank you so much much for being here. Thank you for joining us, talking to us today. Fantastic audience today. See you next time on Queen Latifah.